Now let's get a reaction from a member of the House of Representatives on Tuesday's plenary session. Representative Dachung Bagos joins us via Skype. Honorable, let's get straight to the quarantine, the repeal of the Quarantine Act. Now, that bill, it was attempted, the Speaker sponsored that bill. He attempted to pass that bill through first, second, and third reading, and members had not even seen the details of the bill. And you'll agree with me that this is not the first time this is happening. I don't think you saw the Emergency Economic Stimulus Bill before it was passed. Why is this so in the House of Representatives?
Looking at how the bill came up without consultation and without members really seeing the bill hitherto, that definitely will raise some observation if something is hidden behind it. And with reference to the stimulus bill, if you could remember, the stimulus bill, before even it was passed, there was a report that which we looked at it clause by clause. Members looked at it clause by clause, which was finally passed, and which is different from what happened on Tuesday. There was no report.
Are you saying that the Emergency Economic Stimulus Bill, you saw it before it was passed? Because if I recall correctly, what was presented was a draft.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That even on the stimulus bill, there was a draft that you can give reference to. This is at least how it looked like.
But not the entire bill, not the bill itself.
Yeah, not the entire bill. But from the Speaker's bill on Tuesday, there was no draft, there was no bill, there was nothing. He alone had the information to it. So that will really give some certain level of concern to members, and especially when members have received a lot of reports about the vaccine. So that was what really got the resistance.
But have you now seen the bill?
Yeah, I have seen the bill.
From what you've seen about that bill, do you consider it as urgent as the Speaker considered it when he wanted to speedily pass it through, when he wanted lawmakers to speedily pass it through first, second, and third reading? Do you consider it as urgent? Because I recall clearly that Honorable Abonta did say that this bill is not as urgent as we think it is. We need to think of how to deal with the COVID-19 itself first instead of thinking of a vaccine, because the world over, vaccines have not been prepared yet.
Yeah, I have seen the bill, and with the situation we are in now, I don't consider it as urgent. But in the wisdom of the Speaker in bringing the bill now, yes, Nigeria needs to have laws that will guide us in the near future. But I don't see the bill as urgent. And there are some certain clauses in the bill that I think that we need to review as legislators, because the bill really gives the NCDC boss so much powers, which we need to look into. Give the Ministry of Health some certain level of powers that he can amend some certain aspect even before approaching the National Assembly in his operations. So there are some certain things that we need to look into in the bill so that before it will be passed. But
I think another worry for many, especially some of your colleagues, is that this bill is too important to not go through the public hearing stage. We understand the situation on ground, how it's a pandemic. It's something that we're not used to, and we're trying to understand it and how to adjust our lives in that direction. But the public hearing stage is very important because this involves human lives, and considering the kind of conspiracy theories we're hearing, should the House of Representatives not be considering some public hearing? If it's not as urgent, maybe suspend it for now till we're clear of this and can hold the public hearing, or have some kind of electronic public hearing.
A bill that has to do with every Nigerian definitely will be important. Like I said, the Speaker has intentions, but if it has to do with vaccination of Nigerians, vaccination of people, we need to get their input so that to build in their momentum, experts need to come into the medical scientists need to come into it, and so on and so forth. So from our point of view, a lot of and more lobbying, more understanding needs to get into the issue of the bill, because perception in everything is very, very important.
Okay.
Like you rightly said, the conspiracy theories to putting up a law, like Honorable Abonta said that day that we shouldn't take it with speed without direction.
All right, Honorable, just before I let you go, the House adopted a prayer on Saturday to evacuate Nigerians from China. And I find that interesting because just before the House went on break, something similar came up where the same man, the same spokesperson of the House, moved a motion to evacuate Nigerians from China. And it was shut down by lawmakers, saying that China is better positioned to deal with this. And ironically, Nigeria, the House of Reps has now adopted a motion for the Minister of Foreign Affairs to evacuate Nigerians from the same China. What changed? What kind of reaction is that?
Yeah, like I said, you see, in everything, perception is very important. When the corona issue started, and Nigeria, we were not fully prepared, and especially as of then, the task force was not put in place. We don't have isolation centers. We don't have anything then in the country. And most of us believe that China having the issue at that particular point should be able to treat Nigerians, should be able to isolate Nigerians accordingly. But after some certain period of time, when we saw how Nigerians are being maltreated in China, and now that we are ready and we have isolation centers, I think we are ready to receive our own back instead of leaving them there to be maltreated. Now that we have our health institution is ready, we have isolation centers in virtually every state. If we bring them back, we move them straight into the isolation center to observe them and so on and so forth. Because situations have changed. When the motion was first moved, then we don't know anything even about the sickness much in Nigeria. But now that we are ready, I think we are ready to receive our own back.
Honorable, I thank you so much for your time. And I also want to draw your attention to the fact that the part of that motion was for the Nigerians who are evacuated to be quarantined here. And there are hundreds of them with the complaints from the Ministry of Health and the NCDC that will require more bed spaces. I'm wondering how that will be done. But thank you so much for finding time to speak with us on the Gavel today.
Yeah, thank you, Terry. Stay safe, and Nigeria will definitely get out of this.
And definitely you too. Thank you so much.